Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back to the Fiesta build. And if you guys saw the last video, we installed an intake on the Fiesta, and I was not too pleased with the way that it sounded with the blow-off valve that I'm currently running, which is the Boomba Racing. It's more like an expander, it just kind of, it's like a plate that goes in between the blow-off valve and the turbo. But today, we actually have a proper blow-off valve for this car, so that way we can actually get the sound that we want, and that is the Turbosmart VeePort blow-off valve. So we're going to be running this blow-off valve, which is, if I can open this, it's a symposer port blow-off valve, which means that we are actually relocating the blow-off valve today. So we have a whole install kit for this. We have vacuum lines, we have the boost tap line, and then we also have the block-off plate for the factory blow-off valve location. And this kit all comes together for, I don't remember the price, but you get all of this together if you order from Wish Motorsports. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link to them in the description, because if you buy a blow-off valve from anywhere else, they're just going to send you just the blow-off valve and you have to buy the kit yourself. But Wish Motorsports will hook you up with the kit to install the blow-off valve with the blow-off valve, so that way you don't have to go shopping around for all the parts you need to install the blow-off valve on your car. So yeah, so basically this is going to be deleting the symposer on this car, and we're going to be putting the blow-off valve where the symposer goes, and then running vacuum lines from the map sensor, and we have to block off the factory location, and we are going to have to figure out a way to trip the blow-off valve actuator, because the stock one is electronically controlled, and it's going to throw a check engine light until I get that solved. So that's a problem for a later date. I don't have that part today, but I'm sure soon enough I will find it. It's just hard to find it on the website alone versus buying it. It comes with the 2-port Turbosmart blow-off valve that fits in this factory location. But if you're like me and you want to run a bigger turbo on your car eventually, then you're going to be kind of shit out of luck on finding that check engine light defender. So as soon as I find it, I will let you guys know, and let's just get into it. Alright, so yeah, from the last video you guys can see we did this intake here. This is the Injen intake. I don't remember exactly the specs on it, but it is it is just like a filtered intake, you know, just like your usual, but it's got an open filter instead of a closed one, which means that we get to hear the induction noises, which also means we get to hear the blow-off sound noises if you actually have a proper blow-off valve, which I learned. Also, for the first time in a long time, we can finally install something on this car that doesn't require us to take apart the whole front end of this car. If you can recall the last two videos, if you can recall the downpipe and the intake video, both of those we had to remove the headlights, the upper and lower cowl, the bullshit. So this time around we don't actually have to remove all that, so thank God, because I am tired of tearing this car apart to do any little thing on this car. So yep, now it is time. Pretty much we got to remove this, symposer, and we got to leave just that little coupler down there, and we're going to be putting the blow-off valve on that. And then after that we got to remove the engine cover. Okay, and then after that we got to remove the map sensor right here. We have to put a plate there that will allow us to run a vacuum line to the map sensor, and this will allow us to actually tap into the vacuum system, and will allow us to run a vacuum powered blow-off valve. So yeah, just a little bit of rework on this car, and we'll be pretty much on the road. Okay, now to remove the symposer, I think we just gotta pop this tube off like that. Should get the symposer out of the way. Just tuck that somewhere. We don't need that no more. I reckon if you just pull on this, whoo, there we go. You just pull on the symposer, it comes out. Interesting. Gotta do this anyways, but this vacuum line right here we gotta pull off. Get that out of the way. Okay. Whew. Fuck. Nope, nope, nope. You're not going down there. You're coming up here. You're coming with me, buddy. Coming with me, buddy. Come on. How are we gonna get you up and out? Get this out of place. Move this up. There you go. Okay. This is what you need. This is your sound symposer. You get this out of there. You just gotta take off this clamp now. You're gonna need to keep this silicone tube. Check it for wear. Make sure that it's not torn at any place or it's not ripped. And if it's still good to use, then reuse it. If not, then you might want to get a silicone tube to replace it. I'm sure they sell it somewhere, but we're gonna try to reuse the original one. So, a pair of these are very useful. These are locking pliers that are meant for removing these style clamps. Basically, you put this cup part over that, put this over that, you squeeze it, and then once you get it locked in, it's locked in. And then that allows for you to basically have free play with this clamp. Okay, so once you get the symposer off of this, which was a fucking task in itself, then you can take the clamp of this ply, little worm clamp, you can tighten it down around here, get it to a reasonable level so that you can slide your blow-off valve on top. Okay, there we go. Now we got the blow-off valve on the symposer tube. Okay, so now I'm going to fish this down into here. On there, it's clamped. I think we got it. Okay, yeah, so blow-off valve is on there. It's clamped down on the bottom and the top. So we got our, whatever that is, we got our vacuum port at the top now. Now it's time to take off this MAF sensor, and then we're gonna have to figure out how to get that transferred over. Okay, so T25 is the only size that I have that fits this, but it doesn't fit it perfect, so I'd imagine it's like a T30 or a T35. But I can make a T25 work, so that's what we're doing today. So now we just gotta get this out. There we go. Take this out. Cool. Pull out our vacuum line. Send us with a pretty good amount of vacuum line. And then these are all of our fittings. We get a little bag filled with fittings, a new O-ring. And then this is the boost tap adapter. And I'm gonna be real, I think I'm gonna have to look up some instructions on how to set up this boost tap adapter. And that will allow us to set up the vacuum line and put a vacuum line on our map sensor, which then we will run to the blow-off valve, and then that should be it for the blow-off valve, and then we just have to take off the old one and put the block-off plate in its place, and then we're good to go. Okay, I think I got it figured out. So, the block-off plate, right, looks like this. This is what comes with the kit, and basically, the bottom side, right, with this little nub, this is where your vacuum, or your map sensor originally goes. You're gonna put this down, and then on this side, right, so with the bottom facing this way, this side you're gonna have your port, and then on this side you're gonna have the block off, and then up top side you got a threaded hole and a non-threaded hole. The non-threaded hole is where you're gonna line up with the factory location where the map sensor originally goes, or where I put my map sensor, right? So that's going to go where the map sensor originally goes down, and then you're going to put down the new one. You're going to put down your map sensor back in on top, and you're going to actually put that on the threaded hole. You're going to line that up with the threaded hole, and then you're going to take your bolt that comes with it, and then that's going to go into here, and that's going to lock this into place. Okay, and then you just put that on the car. You're going to attach your vacuum line, and then you're going to run that vacuum line to your blow-off valve, I'm pretty sure, and that should allow you to pretty much convert your map sensor into vacuum, and that'll allow you to run a vacuum line to your blow-off valve. So now that we're back topside, you are basically going to be installing this. Yeah, so basically we're going to be putting it in like that, and then you're going to be attaching your vacuum line to there, running the vacuum line down through there into your blow-off valve, and then you're going to be plugging in the map sensor again back into where the map sensor originally went. So I'm going to go ahead and find some lube for this O-ring, and then we're going to slip that in, and then we should be able to pretty much make this whole thing work. So I put just a little bit of silicone grease on that O-ring. Just got it slipped in there, and then we can slide this bolt, which is actually a T27. So once again, I don't have a T27, so I'm using a T25 Torx bit. And we can tighten this down like so. Get that snug. Okay, so now once everything's all tightened down, now we can go ahead and plug the map sensor back in. So I'm actually gonna fish this up and around like that. And then now we can put our vacuum line on there, which is supplied. Make sure to get your clamp on there first. Do not tighten it down, but just put the clamp on there. And then I think I'm gonna fish this underneath here. So we got the vacuum line on there, and then I'm just gonna slide that down. I'm not gonna put it over yet because we're gonna route this vacuum line down, and we're gonna go ahead and find a little path for us, mark it about there. And then that should give me just enough vacuum line. There we go. This should give me just enough vacuum line. Jesus fuck. Okay. If we grab our clamp now and slide that over there, and we can slip this on. Let's see if I can get you guys in here. Slip that on to the blow-off valve. So I have it routed starting here. I routed it down towards there, down back behind there, and then it slits underneath that, and then kind of snakes around to here. So that way it's out of the way, but also so that way it's not going to be pinching underneath anything in the event that shit moves. I think that's it for the blow-off valve itself. So final product should look something like this, where you have your map sensor plugged in, it's tightened down, you got your fitting here, you're going to route that down through there, down into there, where it's connected onto the blow-off valve, got the clamp on it, and then now we can probably plug this back in. You don't have to worry about it. Don't mind what mine looks like. It still works, trust me. There it is. Oh yeah. See that little red thing back there? That's the blow-off valve. So we gotta find a way to reach that. Do not remember my contraption I put together, but I'm gonna have to go figure that out. Basically, it's a wobbly socket, and then there's a swivel attached to it, and then that allows you to get back there and reach the destination. Now, it is very tucked away, but if you just grab a little bit of a side or a little bit of an extension, grab a swivel and an what is this, an H5 X key, you should be able to work your way back there with this little creation I have here. Now this is what I call a contraption. As you can see, I got the ratchet up there, got another extension attached to that extension, then I got the swivel in there, and then I got the H4 in there. So this is the only way I've managed to find to break this loose. Yep, and that will be the key to our success right here. Okay, there we go. Once I got it in, now I got it in now, so it should do it. Word to the wise while installing that block-off plate. For the blow-off valve, these 3 holes are actually a little bit spaced out separately, so it can only go on in one way. So a good rule of thumb is to line it up with this and then figure out what direction this sat in originally, and then figure out what direction you need to line up the holes with. And it seems that the logo faces the way it does on my case. See, it faces pretty much like that. So the Whoosh Motorsports is sitting kind of facing towards the back. So that's how mine sits. I don't know if it's the same from all parts, but it is a little intricate design to think about or something to consider while installing this block-off plate. But once you get it installed, now we can, I think that's it. We can start at the car now. All right, so everything's all buttoned up, everything's all ready. We're gonna go ahead and give it its first start, and then we're gonna go ahead and listen to what this blow-off valve sounds like with this intake. So just a clarification, this is the Injen intake for the Fiesta ST. It was just under $300 for the intake. Holy shit. That sounds fucking incredible. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait till it's about daytime, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, who knows, to do the driving footage. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it for a drive just to make sure everything seems good, and I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure, you know, take it for a little test drive, why not. But I'm gonna record driving this car on a later date when it's more daytime, when there's daylight.
Later.
If you ain't listening to this, what you listening to? If you talking money, I could probably take a call. I ain't doing favors, buddy, I can be involved. See, I got it how I got it, shit, it never took me long. Barking at your kitty, motherfucker, I'm a dog. Shit, what, hurt enough, you a bitch, you a pawn. Speeding past your punks, boy, I left him in the dust. Put her in the caddy, made him mama fall in love. Born with the thugs, you might see him chuck it up. I ain't talking to the living, boy, listen to the D. Little overweight, boy, you know I'm getting feed. Talking out his pussy, I ain't heard a boy, you see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, hollers to the head. Knock